So far in this series on leadership, we've been focusing on your role as a tactical leader. And by that, I mean your leadership in the day to day operations of your business and the day to day leadership of your team. In this session and the ones that follow, we want to shift gears now and we want to talk about strategic leadership. Strategic leadership is high level, longer range, and there's some critical roles that you need to play as a business owner to fulfill your need for strategic leadership. The most important work of leadership is reflection. You've probably heard me say that already, but I want to stress it again. The most important work of leadership is reflection. You've got to spend time thinking about your business, thinking about where you are, where you want to go, and what it's going to take for you to get there. The biggest failure I think most business owners make, particularly small business owners, is they're so busy in their business that they do not take adequate time to think and to just reflect. And you must do that to be a successful, effective, strategic leader. Every small business owner wears multiple hats, and we do lots of different things. But wearing multiple hats can really create a problem for us because they don't allow for us to have time for thinking and reflection. And a business can only rise to the level of the leader's effectiveness. And so you've got to take time to sit and think, reflect on your effectiveness as a leader. You've got to think about your future. You've got to think about your people, where they are. You've got to think about where your company is today and where it's going to go. That's what I mean when I say the most critical work of leadership is reflection. Strategic leadership requires thoughtful attention to vision, culture, and team. And those are the three topics we're going to talk about in these remaining sessions on leadership. So let's start with vision. What is vision? Think about it. How would you define vision? Henry Kissinger, the late Henry Kissinger, said this once. He said, "The task of the leader is to get his or her people from where they are to where they have not been." And so vision is about painting a picture of the future. Vision is a seeing word. It's about the future. And we're trying to take our people someplace they've never been before. In fact, chances are you've never been there before as the owner and leader in your business. But you've got the responsibility of thinking and dreaming and mapping out the future of your company. And so I want to give you a definition that I think is valuable and important for vision. Vision is a picture of a preferred future. It's that simple. It's a picture of a preferred future. So let's look at those key words. First off, we're talking about the future. And future can be next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It could be a vision for your life, the future of your life. And so we think about vision in lots of different time frames, but one thing that is always the same, it's about the future. It's about what we hope to see happen, what we hope to see come about in the days ahead. I love this quote by Peter Drucker. He said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." And that's what you do with vision. You begin to create that future that you want, which leads me to the second word in our definition. It's the word preferred. Vision is a picture of a preferred future, something in the future that's better than it is today. And we're going to break this down in just a moment, but I want you to be thinking about what would look better to you, what would look better to your employees, what would look better to your customers. What might that preferred future for your business be? And it's a picture. And you've got to paint that picture. You've got to color that picture. You've got to communicate that picture of that preferred future for everyone who's involved in your business. So a vision is a picture of a preferred future. Now, as a strategic leader, you have two critical tasks. Of course, you've got to paint the picture and share that vision. And so your first task is to create clarity. If nobody's clear about what you're doing or where you're going or why you're doing the things you're doing, then you've got a leadership breakdown. People don't see or own the vision. So your task as the business owner is to create clarity. Give them a clear picture. Hopefully nobody in your company is going to wonder, where are we going? What's our company going to look like next year or 5 years down the road? And again, most people don't think about the future. And unfortunately, most business owners don't think too much about the future. But you've got to think. You've got to dream. You've got to envision that preferred future. And then you've got to create that clarity for everybody in your organization. So that's the first task of a strategic leader. You've got to create clarity. The second critical task of a strategic leader is you have to create the right conditions for success. And so once you paint that picture, once you give people an idea of what the future is going to look like, then you've got to create the conditions. You've got to create the processes, you've got to create the culture, you've got to create the avenues, you've got to create the marketing channels for the growth that you envision. You've got to create the conditions for success. And that's what your people look for. When most employees have a clear picture of the future and they have the tools and resources and culture that empowers them to get there, they achieve amazing things and they do amazing things. And that's what we want in our companies. We want teams who buy in, who own this, and who are working with us to create a better future. And so that's critical for you as a business owner to take responsibility for. Remember, you are 100% responsible for where your business is today and where your business is going to be tomorrow. So to wrap this up, let me give you some suggestions on how to create a vision. Number one, vision begins with a problem. Identify what is it about current reality that maybe it's okay, but it's not the way it should be or the way it could be or the way you want it to be. What's the problem today? What's the current reality today that needs to be different? Start there and just be honest about it. Maybe it is an issue. Maybe it is a problem. Maybe you continue to have customer service problems. Maybe you continue to have product quality problems. Maybe you continue to have cash flow struggles that inhibit your ability to reward your people. So whatever the current reality is that needs to be better or needs to be different, say it. Define it, speak it, and depending, of course, on what it is, you want to use good judgment in what you share. But that's the foundation for a better future. You want to start there and then paint a picture of what the future is going to be that's going to be so much better than it is today. So first, vision begins with a problem. Secondly, you've got to start asking yourself bigger and better questions. Oftentimes we get so caught in the weeds that we're just asking questions every day like, how am I going to meet this deadline? How am I going to fulfill that order? How am I going to accomplish this project? And you've got to start asking bigger questions. You've got to ask yourself questions like, how do we improve the lives of our customers and clients? And you see, that's a values-based question. That's based on the value of compassion. We want to make life better for the people we serve. And so ask that. How do we improve the lives of our customers and clients? And you may even have some brainstorming times where you ask these questions with your team. A second question is, if we were shut down, what would be missing in our community? You see, that's a uniqueness question. What is the unique contribution we bring here in our community? Another question is, what is our cause? What could be our cause? And so many times people can get motivated and excited about serving a bigger cause than even our company. One of my clients I'm working with right now, their mission statement is simply to do good. And they tell their employees all the time, this is our mission, to do good. And the way we live it out is, in their case, they give a small percentage of their profits to a charity or nonprofit organization. So, what's our cause? What can we do to make our company great and meaningful and different? Appeal to that value of pride and ownership in your people. How can we improve the lives of our employees and their families? So these are some bigger questions and higher level questions that you want to be asking yourself. Now, to just wrap it up, you've got a vision worksheet. And on your worksheet, there are 3 questions I want you to work on. Number 1, what is the problem or belief that drives your business? Think about your why and define that right from the beginning. The second question is, what would engage the hearts and souls of our employees? You see, the vision, that preferred future's got to be better, not just for you, but for everybody involved, for your team members, for your customers. You want them to want that future too. And then the third question you want to ask yourself is, what could potentially be our vision? A vision we can all buy into and give our hearts to. That makes a dynamic and exciting company to be a part of. Be working on your vision, and it'll make a huge difference in you and in your team.